Welcome everybody to the UDL Belgian Grand Prix. This is round 12 of 18 races as we are here live for the UDL Belgian GP. I will be your commentator today, Pete Kahn, 36, the league owner, as I'm very excited to bring you guys this race. We are at Spa. This is a race, one of the most famous races in the whole entire world, probably known to a lot of folks as the best track in F1. Everybody knows about the famous corner of Eau Rouge. That seems to be a very big favorite among a lot of drivers. But today we are at Spa, as we will not have any rain today. There was no reports of any rain. So the guys are very happy that they don't have to deal with that. So last week, Chris got his first ever win in the UDL F1 series in just his, I believe it was his fourth. Yeah, it was his fourth start ever in the UDL. So he got his first ever win. Snipper Pig came in second place, followed by the Undercut, getting his second ever podium in just his third ever race, helping out the Ferrari team. Him and Dilgaff have been making quite a good connection so far, so that will definitely be something to watch for. But right now, Snipper Pig is still in control of the points, as he has a 30-point lead over Dreamzy, who's in second. Honos, who is currently still third in the points, only up by 2 points on Dilgaff. He is finally back today. He has missed the last two races due to a hunting trip. He was out hunting, so it is good to see Honos back into the car today. In the constructors, the AlphaTauri team is still up by 30 points to the Alfa Romeo team of Easy, Hurricane, and Dreamzy. So AlphaTauri wants to try and build on that gap more. We're going to go down to KD and give you guys a nice little preview of this track right here, going down through Eau Rouge up into Radion. Now going on to the Kimmel Straight, as this is a preview of what these drivers will be dealing with. KD 1997, he missed last week's race. He got called into work, but he is back for today's race. So as you see, going down the Kimmel Straight, then you have this very fast right-hander. You want to try and use all of that curve as much as you can. Down into the slow right-hander here. Then he's going to go to the left turn, and then they're going to come up to probably one of the most famous parts of the whole entire track, Puhan, the fast sweeping left-hander. And if you notice there, right on the left is that very elevated curve, what many drivers have called a curve of death, as a lot of us would like to say, is that curve, once you hit it, it can send you out for a ride. Everybody is out on track. I'm just letting you guys know, we did not have a busy pit road is completely empty. But right here is one of the straights. Now, the sector 2 times is going to be very important today, because the sector 2 time will let you know how good of a lap you are having in today's race. So that was a preview of the Spa Francorchamps here in Belgium, as KD 1997 will be the first one across the line. I believe that is Drew Yu who is coming around. Yes, that is Drew Yu, guys. This is a busy track right now. Every single driver is out there on track. That is Breezy behind him with the Renault of Hellmade there, as I believe that's also Hurricane that just came across the line. So last year, another thing to add in here is that last year the pole winner was Dreamzy. Dreamzy got poled here last year, and there was a wreck on lap 4. I believe it was my former teammate Sebopai, current UDL F1 steward in the league. Got into the wall going up into Eau Rouge, wrecked out. That caused the safety car to come out. On the lap that the safety car was going to come in, Dreamsy glitched out in front of the safety car and disqualified him from the race. So hopefully we won't see that happen today for anyone, because that is a very unfortunate thing to have happen, as he really didn't do anything wrong. It was an error in the game, so hopefully we don't see that happen today. KD 1997 will be the first to complete a lap here at the Spa GP. Here he comes. And last year, I believe the winner was Honos. Honos won here last year. Shawsam, who qualified P18, was able to get up all the way to P2, and I finished P3. So KD did just set a 142.0. Let's see how Drew Yu does here. Drew Yu sets a 144.1. Let's see how Breezy can do here. Breezy sets a 141.9. Very good lap from him. Hellmade came around and he set a 142.4. As I believe, yeah, that was Dreamsy. He sets a 142.4, as Snapper Pig puts it on provisional pole right now with a 141.6. Big Rig is coming around. He sets a 142.66. That was the McLaren of Honos. He just came around with a 142.5. Good to see him back today, as the undercut sets a 142.7. Young Vicho is coming across the line, but his lap was invalidated, as that was Birdman. He has set a 144.1. That's Karab coming around to finally get a lap in. He just set a 142.8. I believe that's the McLarens of, no, the Mercedes of Dilsack and Bossman, as Dilsack just sets a 142.6. I believe that's Gunbuck coming up here, but his lap is invalidated. So far, Sniffer Pig currently on pole. Now, remember last year, he had a 10th place grid penalty in last year's race and had to start at the very back. So that is definitely something to watch for, as he had a 10th place grid penalty in last year's Belgian GP race. So he's probably really happy to know that he will not have to deal with any of... Oh, as Young Vicho gets really loose, coming into Puhan, safely gets off the track to not invade any of the other drivers. Looks like there's a glitch or something like that on Cursorial Alex's part, as he's currently going out there on an outlap. Something going on, but I believe it's something with the car. But yeah, so far, Gunbuck, this will be his third ever race with us here in the UDL. As last week, he was able to finally get into the points, finished in P8. Actually, no, it was P9. P9, yes. No, it was P8, sorry. Yeah, it was P8 that he finished, finally getting into the top 10 in the points. So he must be very happy with his efforts. Trying to find if I can find anybody out there on a lap. I know Young Vicho's lap is probably not anything after he spun, but we're going to follow Gunbuck here, see how he does. He still doesn't have a time on the board. But so far, he's been very impressive in his first two races. Now this is his third ever race with us here in the UDL. I will say it's very awesome seeing a full grid of drivers today. We don't get that very much, but it's very nice to see that we have a full grid in today's race. Gunbuck just set a 142.1, so very good time from the Williams, show that he can compete with anybody. This is the race winner from last week, Cursorial Alex, as he won the Hungarian GP, got his first ever win in just his fourth ever race with us, as I believe. It looked like he maybe was going to abort, but no, he's going. Don't know what exactly he was doing there, but he is going. So you're going to have to see how he does. He has unbelievable pace. So this is going to be something to watch for. It's currently right now, I think he will be the only one who will be able to set a lap, as Gunbuck just set a lap not too long ago, but he will be coming into the pits pretty soon. But it's been a very good showing for Crisorial Alex. I mean, he finished P5 at the British. He finished P3 at Austria. We all know what happened. We all know what happened there as he spun out on the final lap. Finished P5 at the British Grand Prix. Looks like he came up on the, I believe, one of those. I can't tell who that is. I believe that's Karab, that had to get out of the way to not impede on Crisorial's lap. I believe that is Bossman. Dilligap is now on lap. He still doesn't have a time on the board. Bossman still without a point this year. This is the longest that Bossman has ever gone without scoring a single point. So, 12th race of the year. Can Bossman finally get that car into the points today? Last year, this was the race where he kind of turned it around after having a very poor start to season 2, but he finished 4th here last year. So maybe this is the track where Bossman could turn around and finally get him on the points. He still has yet to score a single point this year. What does Crisorial Alex do? He gets himself up to P2 with a 141.7, so currently good enough to get himself out there on the front row. We're going to try and see if we can find a driver. Big Rig is currently setting a lap. It's a bit too far. I believe that's Dreamsy. Yeah, Dreamsy coming around. The winner of the British Grand Prix. Dilsak's coming around to start his lap. There's the undercut. But yeah, let's go to Bossman here. We're going to go to Dilligap here soon. What can Bossman do? Bossman needing to improve, as he has not had a great year. This could be a good time. 143.0. I spoke too soon. But Dilligap gets a 141.8, currently good enough for P3. So good time there from the Ferrari of Dilligap, who is trying to recover from that race he had a week ago where he was pretty much in a net P1, got stuck behind the Alfa Romeos and spun out at the curb of death into turn 5 at the Hungarian GP. He's definitely going to try and keep those spin outs that he's been having to a minimum, as we know he spun out of the lead at the Austrian GP, and then he had a spin at the Hungarian GP, so he's going to have to try and do something to improve. I believe that's Snipper Pig coming around, but yes, his time is invalidated, so I'm sure he's going to go for another run here. I believe that's Hellmade behind him, but his time is also invalidated. Go up to Honos here. He's currently on a time. Honos, who is back today after missing the last two. Can he improve on his time? He does by almost 2/10, but only gets him up into P8, right past his former teammate, as his former teammate's going to come across the line, as he jumps his former teammate as well with a 142.1. So both the former teammates trading places, as Dilsag gets in between them with a 142.2. Here comes Drew Yu coming around. Can he improve on his time? Currently good enough for P17. What can he do? He does not improve on his time. Young Vicho comes around. He sets a 143.0. Publix still has not gotten a time on the board, so don't know what Publix is really doing there, but we are almost at the 5-minute mark as he's going to try. So Birdman comes around. He improves on his time massively by a whole second, gets himself into P10 before Speed King finally came around to get himself up into P9. As Birdman, we know, is going to try and improve. He was in line for a good finish in last week's race, but just had that awful spin. But Birdman, you know, the last four, he's finished P10, P10, P7, and P13, as the P13 was mainly due to the spin out that he had after getting himself all the way up to P6 after the safety car. I believe that's Gun Butt coming around, but is that Snipper Pig behind? Yes, and he is 5/10 up on his time. Can he improve his provisional pole time? And he does with a 1:41.1. Blistering time from the AlphaTauri driver as Snipper Pig trying to get his 22nd career pole here in the UDL F1 series. I believe that's Dreamzy, yes, but he is going into the pits. KD 1997 to get a lap started for him. Gonna see how he does at his time, as I believe that's a Renault coming up soon. Yes, that's young Vicho, but he is massively down on his time. Don't know if he's having troubles or not finding traction with the car. Big Rig currently sitting right now in P14. Not very good so far for him, but Big Rig has said that Spa is not one of his favorite tracks, so that's going to be something to watch out for, as he has made it known this is not one of his favorite tracks. I believe that's Karab coming up. Yes, Karab is coming up, but is he going to pit? Yes, he is going to go into pits. We are at the 3-minute mark, folks, so 3 minutes left to go in this session to improve on their times. Karab is kind of trending down. Karab needs to have a good race today, because he's kind of been trending down a bit, as I believe, let me see, yeah, he's finished in the last 5 for him. He's finished P6, P8, P10, P13, and P11. So in the last 2 races, he hasn't scored a single point. So that's going to be something to watch out for, as I believe that's skill gap out there on an outlap. We are now at the 2.5-minute mark. This is a very slow Alfa Romeo. Don't know if Hurricane is out of fuel. I'll have to look. Yes, he was out of fuel, so that's why he was going really, really slow. Here comes KD 1997. Can he improve on his time? It looks like he won't. Oh, but he gets out in front of his teammate with a 1:41.6. So very impressive time from KD here. Remember, he did miss last week's race because he got called into work. So KD is going to try and show everyone that he's still one of the fastest drivers in the league. The undercut now starting his time, currently down all the way to P15. Don't know if he just hasn't been able to put out a good lap or not, but just like I said, the last 2, he has gotten a podium in his last 2 races, and this race is his 4th ever start. This race will be his 4th ever start ever in the UDL F1 series. I believe that's Honos coming up, as he's going to get started on his lap. And try and see, I believe that's a Dilligap as well, and that's a Mercedes. There's 2 Mercedes currently out there on track. Hopefully the Red Bull didn't get in the Ferrari's way. I believe that's Karab. Yeah, that is Karab. So Honos just got started on his lap. Last year's pole sitter, Dreamzy, still sitting in P9, so that's going to be something I'm sure Dreamzy is not going to be a big fan of. He's going to have to start all the way in the back. Here comes Publix. Still the only driver that does not have a time on the board. Currently looking to start in last place is, oh, the undercut. He invalidated his lap, so he's going to have to go if he wants to get another lap on the board. Going to be wasting a lot of ERS. That is young Vicho coming around, as he will get started on his flyer. Gonna try and see if it's at the Haas of KD. Yes, but don't know if he's gonna go for another lap. No, he will pit. So that will be it for the Haas driver, as the undercut looks like he's gonna have to stay where he's at. Very unfortunate for him, as he will try and get 3 podiums in a row, but it's going to be a tall task for him to try and pull it off. So Birdman comes across the line just in time. Big Rig gets himself up into P5. I guess I missed it. Yeah, I must have missed it, but Big Rig is up into P5. Wow. Try and see if I can find where everybody else is out. So yes, Chris Royal Alex is on a flyer. Hurricane and Dreamzy coming around to get started on their laps. I don't know if these times are the actual times. The 2:25 the time remaining. There might be an error on my screen. But Bossman improves on his time with a 142.7. Right now, Honos looking like he's down on his time. Going to try and find Snipper Pig. No, that's Publix. Publix is still set to lap, but here he comes. Can he get, where is he going to pull? A 142.5. Not what I was expecting at all from Publix, as we know he has really good pace, but that is a very disappointing qualifying effort from the AlphaTauri. I'm sure Snapper Pig is going to give him some hell for that, as Vilsack, he gets himself up into P9 with a 142.1. Young Vicho coming around, but it looks like he's going to abort, so not the day that young Vicho wanted at all. Kill the Birdman coming around, but his lap is invalidated, so that will be it for him. Karab coming around, but his lap is also invalidated, as he has Hellmade behind him. Can Hellmade improve on his time? No, Hellmade cannot improve on his time. Drew Yu massively down on his time. What can Crisorial Alex do? He's down on his time. Don't know if he can challenge Snipper Pig, and he does not. He's not able to challenge Snipper Pig, but can Dilligaff get the Haas off the front row? Also, Dreamsy just came across the line to get himself up into P5, into a really good starting spot. What can the Ferrari do? Can Dilligaff knock the Haas out of the front row? Will he take P2? And he does! He will take P2 with a 141.4. What a qualifying effort there by the Ferrari, as that is it, folks. Qualifying is over, as Snipper Pig will take his 22nd career pole ever in the UDL F1 series. So congrats to Snipper Pig today. I believe that's his 9th pole of the year, which is absolutely ridiculous, to say the least. So just absolutely amazing pace by him. And Dilligaff trying to recover from the 2 races where he was in the lead and spun out at Austria and at Hungary. So that is something that Dilligaff is probably going to keep in mind today, as he will not want to have another spin. So, ladies and gentlemen, it will be Snipper Pig. Well, give me a second. Blue screen. But yes, so we are back on screen. So Snipper Pig takes P1, Dilligaff takes P2, KD starting in P3, so the Haas is filling out row 2. Dreamsy does not get back-to-back poles at the Belgian GP, but he will start in a good spot at P5. Big Rig will start in P6, Breezy in P7, Gumbucked in P8, Hurricane in P9, and Dilsack in P10, completing out the top 10. Some shockers today, as Honos, back from his 2-race break where he was not here for the last 2 races, he'll be starting in P13, but Speed King and Birdman is a row 6 for the Red Bull team. Row 7 is full of the McLarens. Publix in P15, Bossman in P16, the Undercut in P17, Hellmade and Young Vicho in P18 and P19, and Drew Yu in P20. So that is our grid today. Public starting in the back in P15, not the performance that I'm sure that he would have wanted, as Publix does have the record until Drew Yu this year at the Monaco GP, but until the Monaco GP this year, Spa was known as the track that Publix got his first ever point, but he DNF'd in P10 in this race 2 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago, Snipper Pig won it, as I got 2nd place, as I believe it was Get That Money and Run who came in 3rd place in that race. Let me see. Yeah, it was Get That Money and Run who got 3rd in season 1. But going to get the lobby made for you guys, so you're gonna have to give me just a minute here as we're gonna try and get this grid made. Hopefully Light cloud, overcast with light cloud. That is today's weather for this race. But back in season 1, 9 drivers out of 20 finished this race. It was a very chaotic race, and I believe in last year's race, 13 drivers finished the race. So the Belgian GP Online creates chaos. So give me a minute, folks, as I will try to invite the drivers back to the lobby. Once again, guys, I apologize about the blue screen as I am trying to get everybody back in here, and hopefully they can get back in here as fast as they can so we can get to racing. Just letting everybody know, this week and next week is the Monza GP. Can X Breezy make it 3 in a row at the Monza GP, as he has won both Season 1 and Season 2 at Monza? So next week will be the Italian GP, and then we have a break for Thanksgiving weekend, and then we come back on December 6th at the Singapore GP. So next week will be the Italian GP. Give me a minute, folks, as I will have to go back to the blue screen. Alrighty. We're still trying to get everybody back into the lobby and back into their cars. Still missing quite a few drivers. Waiting for, let's see, we're waiting for Crowd to get into a car, Publix to get into his car, Birdman, I believe that's Speed King we're waiting on. Yeah, Speed King. And let's get Boss Man. Boss Man and Speed King. We're still missing Speed King. There is Boss Man. Now we're waiting on Speed King to get in here. Speed King is the only one left. As soon as Speed King can get in here, okay, cool. So I will get to making the grid, folks. But yes, last year's race was a very chaotic race, as only 13 drivers finished. We had a huge crash under the safety car, and just like I said, everybody remembers how last year Dreamsy got pulled, the safety car came out, there was a glitch on his end or the game's end. It glitched him out in front of the safety car and he got disqualified for it, as you are not allowed to pass the safety car, but that wasn't his fault, as there was a glitch in the game that caused him to get out in front of the safety car and disqualified him from the race. We had the big crash between Ripper Rick and X Breezy on the safety car in lap as they got into it, and he ended up having a spin out later in that race. Tried blaming it on me, I shall say, but I didn't cause him to spin out there, buddy. And let's see, Gumbuck in P8, Easy Hurricane in P9. So the undercut today, he's gone 2 podiums in a row, but he's going to have a tall tax today, starting in P15. And Honos currently in 3rd in the title chase, back from his 2-week break, and he's starting in P13. So not what Honos wanted. This is not the day that Honos wanted to have, but Knowing how this race goes at the Belgian GP, it pretty much feels like anything can happen here. So, because Shawsum started in P18 in last year's race, and he was able to finish in P2 thanks to all of the chaos that has happened out in front of him. Oh no, that's Publix in P15. As the undercut will be starting in P17, so correction there. I believe that's Helmade and Drew U. Yes. Let me look at the grid one more time, make sure it's correct. That looks correct. Yes. All right. So here we go, boys. Go into spectator mode. Everybody in the top 10 will be starting on softs. Oh boy, this is going to be exciting. I am excited, folks. I hope you guys are. Give me just a second. I gotta go get something to drink. Here we go. We are ready to roll at the Belgian GP. Here we go. Just so everybody knows, Snipper Pig will be starting in P1. Not a shock there, as he did get his 22nd career pole of his career, which is absolutely insane. So we are at Spa. The first ever car race that was held here was back in 1922. The first ever F1 race was held there in 1925. Ferrari has the most wins with 18, and Michael Schumacher has the most wins at this track with 6. This will be a 22-lap race, as the race length will be 95.7 miles, as this track is 4.352 miles long. So that is some rundown of Spa. We all know the famous corners of Arouge and Raidillon and Pouhon, and that long Kimmel straight after Raidillon. So as we wait for the drivers to get their setups back on, as we are still waiting, very tense. I can feel it. I'm excited. This race has been chaotic the last 2 years. Hopefully we don't see anything dumb and the drivers stay safe. I just hope all the drivers just be very mindful of where they're at on track. Gonna try and see if we can get anyone to try and pull a Mark Webber on somebody, as that is one of the most famous moves. And hopefully we don't see anything like we did back in the 1998 F1 race of the 14-car crash that we all know about and remember, as that was the famous race where the Eddie Jordan team got the win with Damon Hill in that yellow car. So here we go, folks. It is the formation lap. We are here, folks. It is almost race time. I'm going to try and get telemetry, but the tires that they're on. So let me run you guys down the grid. Snipper Pig, who finished in P2 in last week's race, the point leader, getting his 22nd ever career pole and 9th of the season, will be starting in pole. Gilligap, who has had some tough luck spinning out in P1, starting in P2. KD 1997, who was called into work last week, is now in today's race. Cursorial Alex, who finally got his first ever win in the UDL F1 series last week, is starting in P4. Dringsy, the pole sitter here and the winner of the British Grand Prix, has 3 race wins to his name, will be starting in P5. I Got a Big Rig, who will be starting in P6 today next to his teammate X Breezy. Gunbuck making his third ever career start here in the UDL F1 series, finally getting his first points after finishing in P8 last week. Easy Hurricane will be starting in P9 today after having a great finish with a P6 in last week's race. Dill Sack starting in P10 after having a bad finish last week with a P16. Speed King will be starting in P11, followed by his teammate Birdman in an all-Red Bull front row. And right behind him will be a all-McLaren front row. A very disappointing qualifying for Honos. This is his first race back after a 2-week break. Krop starting in P14. He's trending down and hasn't scored a point in his last 2 races. Publix got involved in that wreck with I Got a Big Rig last week. He's starting in P15 today with a very disappointing qualifying. Bossman still looking for ever point starting in P16. The Undercut in his 4th ever UDL F1 race after getting 2 podiums in a row will be starting in P17. As Hellmade and Young Vicho will be starting in P18 and P19. Young Vicho is back after missing last week's race, and as Drew Yu, only 1 point to his name, will be starting in last. So that is the grid, folks, of your Belgian GP. We are almost close to race time. Hello to Wade County. See if we can get a better shot of the grid. Yes, we do. Don't pay attention to those lights because they're not synced up. Gonna hear the engines as we are go as the race has got off. Pig actually gets off to a pretty good start, but KD gets off to an even better start. Already up to P2 as they have gone past Dilligap. Oh, and there seems to be some collisions already. Bunch of wings, broken wings everywhere. But so far, oh, big moves here between the Red Bulls and the Mercedes. But let's see what KD can do. He's right now battling Pig for the lead, going side by side down the Kimmel Straight. Does KD, can he make the move? Can he pull it off? Got the elbows out. Gonna try and use most of that corner. He does, but they're still side by side. But he makes it, clears him. But KD goes way too deep as Snipper Pig goes back out the inside. But KD looks like he finally gets into the lead and has taken the lead away from Snapper Pig. Snapper Pig actually had a good start in this race. That is a weakness of his, is not getting great starts, but he did have a good start today and did not lose out on a bunch of spots, currently sitting in P2. Something is going on with Dilligap. Don't know if there's a lag or a internet connection issue, but he's not having a good time with that internet. And the drivers have to account for that, as we do not allow ghosting in this series. But right now, KD 1997 in the lead, following around here with Big Rig as Breezy was able to get out in front, see if anybody makes a move. It looks like Honos, interesting, he did go on to the medium tires, as both McLarens are the only guys who went out there on the medium tires. So it looks like Speedkin is probably going to have a move for him here, as Birdman and Easy Hurricane do pit. Birdman, Easy Hurricane, and Young Vicho do pit, so I wonder if they were the ones that had damage to their car. But KD already building a nice lead, up to 6 seconds. Dilligap going to try and challenge Breezy here. Just staying behind, not going for any risky moves there, but so far it doesn't look like we have had any wrecks coming out of Eau Rouge, so far, so good, but hopefully I didn't just jinx it. But Dilligap still staying behind. Breezy trying to do anything that he can to try and force Dilligap into some type of mistake. Gunbuck still sitting in P8, but oh no, so far, really good job from him on the medium tire, starting in P13, now up to P9, so really good start from him. Publix has already gained 2 spots as well. He's currently up to P13, but Bossman really improved from all the chaos that happened back there, as he's currently up to P12, right behind his teammate. Katie still in the lead, building a 7 tenths of a second, now up to 8 tenths. So far, it doesn't look like anyone's going for any moves here, as it looks like Helmade and Drew Yu are racing each other, as Helmade was able to get around the Williams of Drew Yu there. Whoa, don't know what happened there, or what happened with Bossman there. Bossman got really loose. Oh, there was contact there. That might need to be looked at. Don't know what exactly happened there. Go back down here to the top 5. The DRS is enabled, so remember on lap 3, these drivers finally get the DRS, as we're going to try and see if that will help out Dilligap. That's going to help out Dilligap tremendously, as he's going to go for the move down the inside. He does pull the move off, and he will take P4 away from Dreamzy. Publix in the undercut, as the undercut was able to get the move done on Publix there, getting up there into P12. Gunbuck still staying in P8. That's where he qualified, and he hasn't really gained anything big or lost out, as he started in P6. But Breezy looking to capitalize. Dreezy having trouble finding the pace. Breezy has been needing a good race. He missed last week's race too, but Breezy only has 20 points this season. Goes for a move there on Dreamzy, doesn't get the move done, lets him by, as he will think about it another day. But Breezy needs a statement race today, as he will definitely try and carry that momentum into the Italian GP. Everyone thought that he was going to be a title contender this year, but he only has 20 points to his name, which is not the start that he has been running at all. We all know in the first 2 races he DNF'd after getting his ERS stuck. His ERS got stuck, it wouldn't turn off, so he had to retire the car, as he did not have any ERS left in his car after the first 3 laps. Dilligap just set the fastest lap of the race, but the top 3, it is heating up, folks. Looks like Kill the Birdman has a spin. Yes, he has a spin. Don't know what happened to him there, but he has spun. Try and see if Snipperpig is going to have an answer here for Snipperpig, but KD trying to root on for his teammate. Looks like Snipperpig's going to go for the move for the lead. He goes down the inside, clears him by the turn, as Snipperpig has taken the lead of the Belgian GP. As we have a yellow, and it looks like it's Drew Yu who is in the wall at Eau Rouge on lap 4. The same lap last year where there was a wreck has brought out the safety car. It is deja vu all over again, as there was a wreck on lap 4 of last year's race, and it brought out the safety car. It brings it out again in season 3. So now we're going to have to wait and see who is going to pit for what. Birdman gets a very timely safety car from all of that. So as Speed King, 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Honos there. Don't know if Honos got the same penalty as well, but Dilligap just got a 5-second time penalty with Dreamzy. Don't know what happened there, or maybe it was a glitch. But so far, our biggest movers of this race has been the undercut, who has gained 5 spots from lap 1, as the biggest loser so far is Easy Hurricane, as he has lost out on 8 spots, and next to him is Birdman with 7 spots. But Drew Yu still has only 1 point to his name, will not be able to add another point, as he will have to be watching the race from the sidelines. Let's see who all pits. KD pits, Snipperpig pits, Pastorial Alex chooses to pit, so very interesting choice there, as the Hotses are going to be double stacked. But Pig puts on the hards. Oh, and Honos just got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in pit lane. That's not what you want to see. What does Dreamsy do? Dreamsy will put on the hard tires as well. Breezy gets in. He will put on the hards. I'm sure Dilligav just had to serve the 5-second time penalty that he just got. But Gungbuck gets a spot. He gets out in front of Dilligav there as he also puts on the hard tires. Bossman currently up into P9. He puts on the hard tires. Publix puts on the hard tires. Honos, Big Rig, The Undercut, and Speed King, they all put on the hard tires as well. Hurricane, who pitted from the Chaos, he already had on the hard tires, and so did Young Bicho. But Karab also pitted, and he put on the hard tires as Birdman just trying his best to get back to the back of the grid after having that spin on lap 3. But Dilsack currently the race leader with the softs, but that's only because he didn't pit. So it's going to be interesting to see, because KD and Crisorio Alex and Dilgap put on the medium tires, so maybe they're banking on another safety car, but they're going to have to pit, because I don't think those medium tires can last at least 17 laps. At least, because there's 18 laps to go in this race. I don't think there's any way that those mediums can last the entirety of this race without having to pit. So they're probably going to have to get past Snipper Pig here and bank on a safety car would be my best bet. But Snipper Pig on lap 4, before the safety car came out, he actually got a good start for once. He obviously has not had the best starts. He's almost always getting passed as soon as the race goes green, but actually got a good start. He only lost one spot as he was able to battle KD for the majority of lap 1 until KD took the lead, and Snipper Pig came back and took the lead back on lap 4 until the safety car come out. But Dilsack decided not to pit. We'll have to wait and see if he does pit here on this lap. I don't think he will, but I think he probably chose to get the position to try and get a better spot and hope that maybe enough chaos would happen and save him as he is on 5-lap-old softs. So just like I said, folks, next week is the Italian GP, as we head to one of the fastest tracks in the world at Monza. And then after that, it is a break for Thanksgiving weekend. And then next week, we come back for the Singapore GP. That is our calendar for the next 3 weeks of the UDL F1 series. But right now, the points leader, Snapper Pig, who currently has a 30-point lead on Dreamsy in the points, as he is looking to improve his lead more and more, as he currently is up on Dreamsy by 3 spots here. Honos, who's back, he's currently in 3rd place in the points, back from his 2-week break, currently in 11th place right now. As Publix, he's gained 5 spots out of the pit, so let's go back and see how much. So Dilsack gaining 9 spots, obviously from from not pitting, but Bossman a very big winner from those pit stops as he won out on 7 spots, got himself up into P9. Oh, as we have a collision, a wreck. It looks like the undercut. Something happened there. Or there was chaos. I don't know what happened with the undercut there, but there was chaos there for a second there. But Big Rig lost out on a lot of spots as he's down to P12, as Hurricane is down to P15. I have no idea what happened to the undercut there. So, gonna bring back up the tires. Waiting for those safety car lights to go off. I believe we should be going green here. Yes, we are going to go green here. So Dilsack will probably bring the grid to a crawl and wait until that safety car gets back into the pits, and then he will be able to go. We are about to go back under green, folks, on lap 7. Oh boy, Vilsack, I hope he can hold off as well as he can here as he is on the softs. But we are ready to go back to racing, folks. I hope they slow down just enough so allow the safety car to get into the pits. Yep, they are allowed to go. Green flag is out. Here comes the Mercedes as out here at the Belgian GP as Honos gets a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with Publix there. Here we go. Let's see if anybody moves. DRS is off. We won't get DRS for another 3 laps. Ooh, KD and Snipperpick make contact there. KD's going for the move. He's on the medium tires compared to Pig, who's out there on the hard tires, battling side by side. KD needs to clear him, and he does. Now Crisorial Alex needs to get out in front. See if Honos and Big Rig, we got some good battling here in the back for the point spots, for the final point spots. Honos still staying in P11. Breezy right now stuck behind Dreezy by at least a couple of tenths. As Breezy, just like I said, he needs a statement race today. He only has 20 points through 12 races. He needs to improve on that time, and especially with the rivalry that he has to Karab, where he's down currently 27 points to Karab in the championship. Gumbuff trying to get involved in that battle as we have a yellow. It's gone now. But Dilsack still holding out very well, currently in P1. Looks like Crisorial Alex, Breezy gets a move done on Dreamzy there. He does. He gets the move done, gets himself up into P5. Can Crisorial Alex get around the AlphaTauri of Snipperpig here? And he does. He will take P3 away from the Brainerd, Minnesota kid of Snipperpig. Dilsack about to be under attack here by the Haas drivers here pretty soon. DRS is not on just yet. It will come on the very next lap. So this is going to be very important ERS usage on these laps. Well, it looks like KD might be going for a move soon as Dilsack driving on those 7-lap-old softs. He's going to go for a move. Yes, he will. He's going to go side by side as Karab has retired from the race, but KD takes the lead of the Belgian GP. Karab has wrecked out at Eau Rouge. And Crisorial Alex is going to go down the inside of Dilsack there, and that will allow Snipperpig as well to get side by side. As Snipperpig, does he clear him? He does. He gets himself up into P3 as Dilsack all the way down to P4, as that might open the door now for Breezy. But Karab, just like I was saying, he was trending down, not doing all that well as he wrecks out at Eau Rouge. And funny enough, a safety car does not come out there, but it came out for Drew Yu, so very interesting. Dilgaf on the back of Dreamzy here. But Dreamzy having really good straight line speed. And Breezy starting to catch up to the Mercedes of Dilsack too. But Dilsack, he finally goes into the pits. Yes, so DRS is now enabled as Dilsack has finally pulled into the pits. Gumbuck behind the racing point of Breezy. He must have made a move from Dreamzy and I have missed it. But DRS is enabled. The Haas drivers hoping for another safety car at least, because you know that they're going to have to pit again. Dilgaf looking for a move on Dreamzy here. Does he have enough? Oh, Dilgaf, gets a little bit loose there. Also lags a little bit, but he could not get the move done. Oh, as we have a big crash. Big crash as Publix is into the wall. Or somebody got into him, but he has massive damage to that right front wing of his. as it looks like the undercut's going to go for a move there on Speed King, and he does, as he would take P14. But the Renaults, who started in P18 and P19, now all the way up to P12 and P13. Oh, as we have a... Oh, and Crisorio Alex is into the wall. Crisorio Alex is into the wall. Crisorio Alex got loose, and he is into the wall. That is not what he needed at all. So very unfortunate for him. Don't know if he has any damage or not to his car. But on the medium tires, that's not what you needed to happen at all. Dreamsy, Dilgap does get out in front of Dreamsy there as he's on the medium tires. Dilgap having some connection issues here in this race. Easy Hurricane was able, no, as Crisorio Alex does go in the pit. Crisorio Alex does go in the pit as Dilsack is spun around. So chaos already happening in this race as we have Speed King going into the pits, Publix going into the pits, Hellmaid going into the pits. But I imagine with Hellmaid and Speed King, though they were involved in that wreck with Publix, as Crisorio Alex, he spun out all by himself. Looks like Big Riz going to go for a move here on Bossman. He thinks better of it and does not make the move. Watch Birdman in the undercut here. Birdman looks like he's going to try and go for it, trying to get the inside, but he doesn't have it. But Bossman, who was trying to get his first points of the year, again, just like last year's Belgian GP race, he is staying out of trouble and currently in P8. So Bossman, who's trying to turn it around, finally get a point to his name. He has not scored a point at all this whole entire year. So let's see what Bossman can do. But from P14 down to P18 are the guys who pitted. Very unfortunate day for Crisorio Alex. Not a good... I don't know what happened to him, but he got really loose going into the fast right-hander before the long straight. As he is now all the way down to P15. He's last week's winner. But Breezy currently up to P3. Oh, is Dilgap. Oh, it was a flag. So no spin out there for the third race in a row for Dilgap. But the Gumbuck sitting nice in P4. He's definitely going to get the DRS here. Going to get some DRS help to try and get a move on X-Breezy, who's X-Breezy looking for his first podium of the year. He needs a good race today. So let's see what Gumbuck is going to go for. It looks like he's going to go for the move, but he thinks better of it. He did not have it done. So far, good job from Breezy there to hold the Williams of Gumbuck off. Crisorio Alex coming around, looking like he will be battling with the Mercedes of Dilsack here, and he does. He will get himself up into P14. Also, the guy who was involved in that big crash, another crash for Publix in the third race in a row, where he's currently in P17. So not the day that he is wanting. The AlphaTauris, who are trying to build that huge lead on the Alfa Romeos. They only have a 30-point lead in the constructors, as Alfa Romeo currently has 2 drivers in the top 10. But Breezy doing a nice job as Gumbuck, as he was under attack by Gumbuck there, but he's now pulled a few tenths on him, but it looks like Gumbuck has the better braking. We are now at lap 12 of 22, so we are past the halfway point, as we now have 11 laps to go here in the Belgian GP, and surprisingly only one safety car in this race. By lap 9 of last year's race, we had 2 of them, so only one in this race. And it looks like we will have more finishers today, as back in season 1 we only had 9 finishing the race, and last year we had 13 finishing out of 18. But Gumbuck going for a move on Breezy here, going down the side as he clears him by the turn. So he will get himself up into P3 as Big Rig was able to clear Bossman there. Bossman is still in the point spots. He's still in the points. So currently in line to get 2 points, but gonna have to see what happens here with Hurricane, if Hurricane can catch up to him. So Breezy and Gunbuck having a battle right now going into Puhan. Be very aware where that curve is. That is a very dangerous curve. We all call it the curve of death. If you slip on that curve, you are going to be sent out for a ride. But Big Rig! Oh, and it looks like he has resetted the track. But it looks like he got involved on the curve of death and spun out. So Big Rig now jets boss warning right after the race for resetting the track, as resetting the track is not allowed. So that will be his first of the year, as he's currently under attack from young Vicho here, the Puerto Rican, who is back this week after missing last week's race. See what young Vicho can do. Driving the number 30 car, formerly Imperial's number. We miss you, Imperial. Hope you're doing well, buddy. So let's see what Breezy can do here. Can he get a move on Gunbuck here? But it looks like not yet. Not yet. But he is getting awfully close to try and get a move done. So Vicho is going to be looking like he's going to try and go for that spot on I Got a Big Rig. He does. Gets to the side of him. Does he clear him? He does clear him. Gets himself into the points with currently in P10. So good pass there by the Renault driver of young Vicho there, as his teammate Helmade was involved in that wreck with on lap for Birdman there, who was just running his race. But the undercut looks like he will possibly getting a penalty right after this race, as he's having major problems keeping that car on the track, as he will come into pit, and Dilligap, his teammate, just pitted. But very unfortunate for Birdman there. He was just running his race, wasn't doing anything wrong, as got into him. I have no idea what's going on with Dilligap's car. But he was backwards. So, Snipper Pig still holding it out in P2. Breezy. Dilligap is back out on track. So Dilligap is currently back out on track. But Breezy and Gunbuck still battling for P3. So, not a lot going on right now. KD 1997 still in a very nice lead. Currently up there to P14. I mean, into P1 on lap 14, correction. But yeah, currently in P1. Gunbuck trying to hold X-Breezy off as best as he can. Gunbuck trying to get his first ever podium here in the UDL F1 series. But due to Dilligap pitting, that did allow I Got a Big Rig to get some spots, as he's currently back up into the points in P10. But I wonder if KD is going to try and take those medium tires as best as he can all the way to the end. It will be a daring move to try and pull off. But let's see, Breezy's going for the move. He does clear him by a lot. Gets himself up into P3, as both of them trying to get their first podiums of the year. Breezy, who hasn't gotten a podium since last year's Brazilian GP, a guy who has 13 career podiums to his name, not a single podium in Season 3, hasn't gotten a podium since last year's Brazilian Grand Prix. So, as Gunbuck, this is his third ever race. He doesn't have a podium to his name yet, but he is trying really hard in this race to get a podium. Looks like Publix was able to get around Helmate as they're currently battling it out for P14. Not a battle we normally see a lot. But it looks like Publix is going to go down to the inside. Ooh, he went for a move there, but got very loose coming out, as that was not that great of a move to try and pull off from Publix there. So he's going to try. Oh, and he's taking. Oh, he rode the curb. But thankfully it didn't send his car all the way out. But Breezy right now holding very steady up there into P3. But so far, KD's still out there with a 2.2 lead on Snapper Pig on 10-lap-old medium tires. Hurricane starting to catch up to the back of Bossman here, as I Got a Big Rig starting to catch up to the back of of Young Vicho here, as Dilligab just sets the will get out in front of Bossman show. But Gumbuck now on the attack with X Breezy. Gumbuck does get out in front of Breezy there, clears him by a lot to take P3, as X Breezy and Gumbuck are just trading spots. But they need to be wary of that, as Dreamsy is still chasing them down. But my other question is, how are those tires doing for the Haas of KD 1997? As you can see, yeah, there is some considerable wear. If you look at the right front tire, you can tell on the inside, on the left of the right front tire, there is some serious wear to the medium tires. So KD 1997, he's definitely going the whole way. That's a daring move, as Snapper Pig has now pulled into that gap considerably. He has at least pulled in 4/10 on the leader, as well, as he has 6 laps to go, about to be 5 laps to go here pretty soon. But Bossman's starting to pull in on Easy Hurricane as well. Bossman in line of getting his first points of the year, currently sitting in a spot to get him 4 points, which will definitely get him past Drew View. Gunbuck just said unbelievable on the hard tires. He's at the 144.6. Wow. On the hard tires, Gunbuck just at the fastest lap of the race. Gonna see what Dilligap does here, though. Ooh, as we have a yellow, as I believe that's the undercut. Yeah, Dilligap just came and took the fastest lap of the race. But I believe that is the undercut. How unfortunate for him. He had 2 podiums in a row in the last 2 races, as it looks like that podium streak is coming to an end, as he has another spin out. He spins out again. Hopefully, oh, hard crash. But Snapper Pig starting to catch up. He has now gained about 3/10 on KD 1997 there. So those hard tires starting to come alive, while KD's medium tires are starting to fall off, as the battle for P3 here, as Young Vito just made a pass on Dilsack for P12. Bossman also sitting really well here, right behind Easy Hurricane. But let's see, KD is about to catch up to the Ferrari. Hellmaid and Speed King having the battle, as Speed King was able to get out in front of Hellmaid. X Breezy chasing down the Williams of Gunbuck. Both of these guys want their first podium of the year. Breezy was maybe thinking of a move there, but he thinks better of it, and Gunbuck goes defensive as the undercut goes into the pits. That is the end of his day. So after 2 podiums in a row, he will DNF here at the Belgian GP. So very unfortunate day for the undercut. Oh, it looks like his car is going to come back out on track. Oh, as I Got a Big Rig, as Dilligap got into some trouble there. Maybe spun with I got a big rig. Does Breezy have anything for Gunbuck here, though? This is the battle for third, for the final podium spot. They keep trading spots back, but it looks like he doesn't have enough for a move there. Bossman trying to get up there, the easy hurricane to get P7, but it looks like it's not enough. But Snipper Pig, he is now, in the last 2 laps, has gained 9/10 on KD 1997. Now, Cursorial Alex has made a pass on Dilligaf here for the battle of P10, which is very rare for both of these guys, as these guys have race-winning pace. But unfortunately, it has not been their day, as they are currently battling for the final point spot after Dilligaf had another spin right there on the lap before. But Snipper Pig eating into that gap. What can KD 1997 do, as he is going all the way on the medium tires? Gunbuck trying to set a blistering lap to get away from the racing point of Breezy. Breezy, knowing he hasn't had a podium since Brazil of last year, the final race of season 2, desperately wants to get a podium this year and put it on his name that he got one. But Snipper Pig eating into that gap. He is eating into that gap almost to a whole second now, as those hard tires are very much coming alive compared to KD's 1997 medium tires. Go back to the battle for third here, as I will just let you guys know that Snipper Pig is now down to under a second. Breezy looking like he's going to go for the move on Gunbuck here. We're starting to see the old Breezy again, as he will go into P3 as he takes it away from Gunbuck. Bossman trying to look for a move on Hurricane here. Does he have it? He got P3 in last year's race. I meant P4 in last year's race. So, Bossman trying to get points to his name, as we have a yellow. Birdman is around again. So, Birdman, not a good day from the Red Bull driver. But, folks, the lead is now down to under a second, with Snipper Pig chasing KD. Those tires, I feel like, are falling off. Don't know if he's going to go for a move here, but this is the battle for the lead. We have 3 laps to go. We are about to have 2 laps to go here in the Belgian GP. Surprisingly, not as chaotic as the last 2, which is actually very nice to see. As for me, as a steward of this league, that makes me very happy to see. Snipper Pig just right behind him. He has KD 1997 in his sights. How much ERS does he have? He has about, looks like about 30%. He looks like he has a bit more than KD 1997. Snipper Page is going to get the help of DRS. KD 1997 is going to have to go defensive here. Can Snipper Pig pull off the move? He's getting really close. He's going down the inside. Does he have him? He does have him. He will take the lead with 2 laps to go, as Snipper Pig takes the lead with 2 laps to go here in the Belgian GP. Snipper Pig with the hard tires compared to KD's 1997's medium tires. It was a good shot by KD to try and pull it off, as he's going all the way on the medium tires, but it looks like it's not enough there for him, as he might have to settle for P2, but he needs a mistake from Snipper Pig here to have a shot at the win, as those tires are just falling off. I have to imagine he's probably losing a lot of wear. But Snipper Pig back in the lead. He hasn't won a race since the Austrian GP. That was his last win, as he will be trying to get his 15th ever career win here in the UDL F1 series, as he's starting to pull away now from the Haas of KD 1997. Also, Dreamsy is starting to get almost underneath a second here, as Breezy is starting to feel the pressure from Gunbuck. Does Gunbuck think about going for a move? No. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the final lap, but KD is still in DRS mode. The final lap, can KD get some help from the use of DRS there? He's almost out of ERS. I don't think he's going to have enough ERS to get the move done. As Snipper Pig is pulling away. Yeah, I don't think he has enough ERS to get the move done. He is very far. But we're going to go back to this battle for P3 here between Breezy and Gunbuck. But Breezy's going to need some help from Dreamzy here, as it looks like Gunbuck's going to go defensive on Dreamzy as well. The battle for third is heating up. Does Dreamzy look for a move? He does not. Breezy stays out in P3. Bossman and Hurricane battling it out though. Looks like Bossman is going to go for a move on Hurricane. He does, and he pulls it off and gets himself up into P7. Also, another thing to note out, Hono's having a quiet day, but he's up to P6 after starting in P13. So he's pulled up 7 spots. But what a day for Snapper Pig as he takes pole. As it looks like KD 1997 is not going to have an answer for Pig. The battle for third is still heating up, but Snapper Pig looking like he will get his 6th win of the year. Yes, he's going to get his 6th win of the year. He is the points leader as he's going to improve that lead massively coming around the final turn, as Snipper Pig will win the UDL Belgian GP with KD coming in second, as Breezy is going to come around and he will get his first podium of the year, his first since the Brazilian GP of last year, as Gunbuck finishes 5th, Dreamzy finishes in, Gunbuck finishes in 4th, Dreamzy finishes in, but Bossman will finish in P6 thanks to the penalty that Honos has. So that's right, Honos had a penalty, but Bossman will get his first points of the year. Finally, Bossman will finally get his first points of the year and finishes in P6. Hurricane will finish in P7. Honos will finish in P8. Crossorio Alex and Big Rig battling to the line as Crossorio Alex gets himself up into P9. As Big Rig will finish in P10. Dilligap, unfortunate day for him, P11. Young Bicho in P12. Dillsack in P13. Speed King in P14. Publix in P15 as Birdman, tough day for him, as there was that one wreck that wasn't exactly his fault, as he will finish in P16. But Snipper Pig will get his 15th career win here in the UDL F1 series. He got pole, as he will now take the race win. So what a day for Snipper Pig, and what a great effort as Bossman. Yeah, if there's anybody I'm gonna have to give driver of the day to, it's Bossman. He earns that after getting his first points of the year. But what a great effort there by KD, as he tried to take the medium tires all the way. He was in the lead for the majority of the race, but those tires just couldn't survive, as Snipper Pig was able to get out in front with 2 laps to go, as takes P1. But Breezy, what a day for him, as he finally gets a podium to his name, a long-awaited podium for Breezy, as that will be his 14th career podium. KD, I also believe he will get his 5th career podium. Give me a second, folks, as I'm going to take some screenshots of the results. But yes, folks, what a excellent race. Dilligap got the fastest lap, but Pig, KD, Breezy in 3rd, Gunbuck in 4th, Dreamzy in 5th, and what a day for Bossman. Gained 10 spots, getting his first points of the year, finishing in P6. But what an excellent race that was here at Spa. So that is going to do it for us, folks. Congratulations to Pig, KD, and Breezy. As also, congrats to Bossman on finally getting back into the points. What a day. Very unfortunate day for Dilligap, Crossorio Alex, the undercut, and Birdman, who just had all the bad luck in the world, happened to him as he just couldn't survive. But what a great day for all of these guys. So that will do it. Next week, folks, we will have the Italian GP at Monza, and then we have a break as we will come back on the 6th of December for the Singapore GP. But yes, next week is the fastest track in the world as we will go to Monza. I am Pecan36. I have enjoyed being your commentator as we say good night. And please join us back here next week on the United Drivers League YouTube channel. Good night, folks.